Ready to open the hood? UseTool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You can find the catalytic converter from the Easy to Fit kit by Faurecia used in the video through the link in the description. Turn your engine off, pull up the handbrake, pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. Unplug the battery. To change the catalytic converter, you will have to raise the front of your vehicle. Lift the front of your vehicle and put it in the two-axle stands. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, racing your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. The catalytic converter is located at the end of the exhaust line, just behind the engine. To access the catalytic converter on your vehicle, you have to remove the crankcase beforehand. First, unscrew the 3 screws that are located underneath the crankcase using a socket wrench and a 10mm socket. Then, on each side of the vehicle, unscrew the screw at the fender level. Finish with the 5 screws that hold the underpart of the crankcase. Your crankcase is now free. Pull lightly on it at the fender level to release it. Using a flathead screwdriver, push down the plastic spurs on the mud flap which hold the crankcase. Remove the crankcase. You can now see the catalytic converter. Start by unplugging the lambda sensor, which is screwed into the upper part of the catalytic converter. Do this by pushing down on the holding spur and then pulling on it. You can now unscrew the sensor using a 22mm spanner and then remove it. Sliding under the vehicle, at the point where the catalytic converter meets the exhaust line, unscrew the 2 lock nuts on the exhaust flange using a socket wrench and a 30mm socket. Then separate the 2 elements, levering them apart with a long screwdriver or a crowbar. With a socket wrench, a big extender and a 13mm socket, unscrew the 2 nuts on the screws that hold the catalytic converter onto the exhaust collector. Once unscrewed, finish by unscrewing the catalytic converter stand. Your catalytic converter is now free. You will have to handle it from the front of the vehicle in such a way as to extract it through the space around the radiator. Do not forget to remove the used seal. You can keep the heat protections from the old catalytic converter to then install them on the new one.
Please support us, subscribe and like the video, that will be really cool.
The easy-to-fit catalytic converter from Faurecia used in the video comes with all the accessories needed for assembly, adapted to the engine and the line in question. This means you do not have to worry about missing parts or compatibility issues which might stop you from completing the operation. Start by installing the heat protections on the new catalytic converter that you had kept from the old one. Clean the gasket seal between the engine and the catalytic converter. Take the new seal provided in the kit and install it. Then take the watertight ring supplied in the easy-to-fit kit and install it on the catalytic converter. Take the new catalytic converter and insert it in the same way as you remove the old one, by inserting it into the exhaust flange and by putting in place the screws at the exhaust collector level. Once in place, take the 2 nuts and the 2 screws supplied in the kit and screw the catalytic converter back in. Start by screwing them in by hand, then finalize the process using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket. It is important to tighten in a staggered fashion to ensure that the assembly is properly watertight and to finish off the process with a torque wrench. Take the new stand screw and screw it back in. Finish off the tightening of the lateral stand screw. Take the muffler springs and the new screws for the exhaust flange supplied in the kit. Screw the flange in with the screws, tightening them one by one, little by little, until you get to the end of the screw threads. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Assembly of the catalytic converter is now finished. Screw the lambda sensor back onto the new line using a 22mm spanner, then screw it back in. You can now put the crankcase back in place. Start by reinserting it into the plastic spurs of the mud guards. Then, screw back in all the screws that have been removed previously. You can now put your vehicle back on the ground. Reconnect the battery. On certain vehicles, it may be necessary to indicate the onboard computer that the catalytic converter has been changed to ensure that the vehicle can work as best as it can. Operation completed.
Hello, if this video helped you, like and subscribe.